If this video found you, whenever it found you, it is for you right now. Let's do a reading with the Phantom Wise Tarot deck. Welcome back to Sweet Infinity. This is the Phantom Wise Tarot deck by Erin Morgenstern. I'm going to be leaving a link where you can purchase this deck in the description below. My name is Kieran, and I am a reader of tarot and oracle decks, also an artist and writer, many things. But today we shall be reading from this beautiful deck that I have read from before. I love the artwork on this deck. Look at that. It's very vaudeville. It's black and white, and it's kind of minimalist, but it's just so haunting. It's so beautiful. And it has this timeless quality to it. Comes with a beautiful deck box and a booklet that you can read from. So while I shuffle, please remember to subscribe to this channel. I would love to hear from you, so you can leave me a comment, and you can also do a little thumbs up, a like. That would be really appreciated. So, what should we read about today? I feel like you're coming out of a dark time in your life. Maybe there's still stuff that's going on that's kind of a little here nor there, a little uneven, a little uncertain. But you're coming out of that part of your life. You are choosing to still get up in the morning, bake your hair, brush your teeth, go out there, do what you got to do, okay? And maybe you're deciding that you've had enough of being cut off from the parts of life that you cut yourself off. And I feel like this deck is calling you to come back to a version of yourself that maybe you've been avoiding. So let's talk about that. There are different seasons to life. There are times in life when we are active. There are times in life when we are more passive, when we have to just kind of sit back and go through the motions. What part of life are you in right now? I want to talk about that and what part of life you're going into, specifically having to do with coming to terms with maybe some of the trauma, some of the bad stuff that's happened to you that you are ready to just move on from. Maybe you don't know how to move on. Maybe you need a little bit of time, a little bit of help, a little bit of support, and that's okay. But you have the desire to move on. You have the desire to not just move on, but to move into the next phase of your life, the part of your life that you are now entering, which is going to be an amalgamation of every lesson you've learned, every mistake you've made, and every good that you have gathered through luck or through hard work, or a combination of the two. Let's pick a card about where you are right now, or where you've been. And another one, the Lovers and the Moon. The Lovers card is about choices. It's actually not just about the lovers, but it's usually about making a choice, committing to something. And the Moon is about secrets. It's about something that's hidden. And these two cards, based on the question that I asked, where have you been? Where are you now? I feel like you have been hiding some parts of you that are actually something you're very committed to, but you don't want to share it with the world. You've been sort of nurturing it. You've been sort of keeping it hidden in order to protect it from the world. And that's understandable, because it's a very gentle, tender, vulnerable part of you. And you're not really sure if you want to share it with the world or how to even share it. So you've been keeping it under the cover of night in a sacred, soft, dark place, like a womb or like a nice, comfortable room. And you've been letting it grow like seedlings. They have to be kept in the dark some part of the day anyway, and they need that fresh soil. And now let's talk about Where are you in terms of learning to help those seeds grow, help those choices, and help that side of you that you have been so committed to, but only in private? How do you let it come out of you and thrive based on that? How do you make a life based on that? Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a badass. She is creative. She is fun. She is technicolor. She is mesmerizing. She is passionate. She is the queen of passion. This is the version of you that you have been keeping for yourself, and maybe just for a few chosen comrades, friends that you trust. But now this Queen of Wands wants to come out and play. She loves that you have kept her safe. You have given her a place where she could just rest, where she could develop her skills, where she could develop her crafts. And you really loved and nurtured her. And what I'm seeing here is that she is ready to get out there, to make a grand debut, to make an entrance, to make a grand launch. That's it. Like, this is it. Okay? This is the whole deck is just telling us what we asked. Now, you have been in a very safe, gentle place. I understand that there is a safety factor. You may not feel that you are able to share or want to share some of these passionate parts of you. Maybe it's a way of doing the kind of work that you do. Maybe it's a different aspect of you that you have wanted to share, but you've also kept it suppressed. Maybe it's something about being spiritual, or something about being creative, or about being funny, or just another aspect of your personality that you haven't really let out a lot. That's what she is, and you've kept it hidden. So now, how do you get from where you are, which is a place where you know it's there and it's kind of aching to come out of you, but you're not really sure how to get it out and stay safe, or at least to deal with the anxiety of feeling like, well, I don't know if I can be my whole self out there in the world. What do you do with that fear? How do you deal with that fear? Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, here is another queen to support your Queen of Wands. Look at that. 2 queens. What's better than 1 queen? 2 queens. Okay. This queen supports this queen. They support each other. They work as a team. The Queen of Pentacles, she's about being resourceful. She's practical. She knows her stuff. You know, this queen is passionate. This queen is practical. The 2 of them together, unbeatable. An unbeatable team. And that's what you need. And that's what you have. If you look around you, there's someone in your life. It could be a female. It could be someone who's not a female. There's someone in your life, whether through financial support or just the resources of their brain and the ways that they're able to help you navigate through the parts of life that you need to take. The way to, for example, read terms and conditions, sign contracts, find a way to market your skills, create packages of, services and products that you can sell, or talk to people who are there as your agent. Whatever it is, there's someone who can support you, and you need to notice them because they're there. They're already there. I feel like they're already there. You might know who that is already, or you might need to think about it. You might need to sit down, make a list of the people that you know in your life who you can trust, and see what comes up for you. Or it could be an aspect of yourself. Maybe you need to cultivate that part of you that's practical, that's resourceful. But what I'm getting is a very strong energy that it could be a sister, a partner, a parent, a close friend, a daughter, a son. It could be somebody like that. Somebody who is going to look out for you, who has your best interest at heart, and who's going to support your dreams. It's there. They're already there. So once you have identified who that supportive, resourceful person is in your life, or figured out a way to cultivate that part of you yourself, how do you go about sort of launching your skill, your inner passion, your secret skill, your secret craft? How do you do that? Like, how do you actually put it out there in the world? What are the steps? Cards are not going to tell us like specific business plan or anything, but what are some basic things that are something you should remember? Some insights, some way of looking at the next part of your journey. 5 of Wands. There will be contests, competition. It might not always be fun, but that's part of life. And I think that's maybe why you have held back, because you didn't want to make that part of your life, whatever it is, the craft, the creative side, the side that you've been keeping in this safe place in the dark, and you've loved and cherished it and helped it grow. But you didn't want to share it with the world because you're afraid of what the world's going to do to it. They're going to attack it. They're going to beat it up like this poor little piñata. And, you know, the world can be a very cruel place. There can be bad comments. There can be trolls. There can be bad reviews, criticism, unfair criticism especially, right? And maybe you've been protecting yourself and not wanting to share because you didn't want to face that. Maybe you faced that in the past and you just are so done. Can't deal with it anymore. And you feel very vulnerable and very tired. I get that. So let's say that's a conflict that you're facing. That's an obstacle that you're facing. And not just facing, but you're also anticipating facing it. Because you've already faced it in the past. Or you've seen other people face it. And it's not a pleasant thing to think about, right? So it's blocking you. How do you deal with this block? 8 of Cups. It's amazing to me how the cards always have an answer when you ask them a question. The 8 of Cups is about walking away from what no longer works, letting it go, letting the past go. These are the cups. This figure is walking away, ascending a stairwell to a different place, physically leaving and moving locations. That doesn't mean you have to move, but it literally means that you have to consider just dropping it, dropping the past. There are times we worry about things that have already happened. We don't know the future. We can sometimes, in large part, determine the future or at least shape it in some way. But we keep thinking that what happened in the past is always going to happen again. And then sometimes we kind of recreate it. But if we choose to leave it behind and we say, no, whatever's going to happen in the future, I'll deal with that. It's not going to be the same thing that happened in the past. Because I can see when it's coming. Trust your ability to see the signs, the patterns that you already are familiar with. That's why you went through that learning process. Because you were supposed to learn it. And you can trust yourself. That now that you have learned it, you can drop the things that helped you learn those things. When you go to school, you go through textbooks. You don't keep carrying every textbook around forever. At some point, you donate them or you do something else with them. You sell them. If you're in college, if you're lucky, you can sell them for like half the price. But you get rid of those textbooks and you move on to the next textbook. And mistakes in life or bad experiences in life, whether done by others or mistakes that we made ourselves, are like textbooks. And you're allowed to drop them at some point, as long as you have learned the lesson. So think of it that way. Drop the textbooks that you had before. You already know those lessons. You are at an advanced stage now. You've graduated that class. So the way to deal with your fear and anticipation of being vulnerable by putting yourself out there is to understand that the past is not the future. It's not written, and it's not always something that's going to repeat itself. And to some extent, you have agency, and in fact, you having gone through those experiences gives you a better understanding, a better perspective. You can see it coming. So that's how you'll deal with it. That's how you'll deal with criticism, bad reviews, quarrels, unfairness, all of that stuff, which you have faced before, haven't you? So it's okay to take time and to retreat. And then it's okay to put yourself out there again in a different way. having learned the lessons that you learned, and using the resources and the friends that you have and the partnerships that you have, and realizing that you don't have to keep yourself hidden away. You don't have to keep everything about you hidden away, especially the best parts about you, the parts about you that you know everyone's going to love. Every time you've shown it, everybody's loved it. You're allowed to show it more. And if somebody doesn't like it, then that's not somebody you are supposed to show that to. And they can move on and look at something else. That's the great thing about life. It's abundant. There's a lot of other things that people can do. And you don't have to carry their burden. You don't have to carry their textbooks. You can even let go of your own. So we've got our two queens here. And I'm just wondering, what's going to happen once you follow your path? What's going to happen once you go ahead and embrace the changes that are coming, and that you are allowed to be more parts of yourself, more publicly, and share them with the world, at least parts of the world that appreciate them? You don't need everybody's approval. The people who get it will get it. So what's going to happen when you allow yourself to do that? The Hanged Man. You will change your perspective. You will change the way that you look at the world. There will be a way for you to understand the world that is not available to you until you take the steps. The Hanged Man is about looking at the world in a way that the world itself has not yet learned to look at. It's actually a very interesting card, and if you look at it this way, he's very dressed up. He's a performer. He is having fun. He might look strange to us because he's upside down, right? I'm looking at it. Oh my God, the guy's upside down. But for him, he's having fun. His hat's even staying on, right? He's figured it out. He's at the top of his game. That's why he's able to flip over. And that's how you'll be, and that's how the world will see you. You will help people see a new perspective. You will teach by example, and you will have fun doing it. So go out there, conquer your fears, let go of the past. You've learned the lessons. They're part of you. You've absorbed them. You're allowed to move on. Check out the resources and the people and the amazing people around you. Give them your love and gratitude. And put yourself out there. Have fun. You only live once. The parts of you that you've been hiding and nurturing in the dark, they also deserve to be seen. They want to get some fresh air. I want to see them. So why don't you share something with me about what you want to do with your life, and how do you want to do it? I would love to hear from you. I hope this has been a very useful and helpful reading for you. It has been for me. If you are interested in purchasing this deck, the Phantom Wise deck, there's links in the description. I'd love for you to share this reading with someone who you think could use it. I'm also available for one-on-one readings. My email is in the channel description. And if you would like to support me, you can also sign up for my Patreon. I hope that you come back and check out the other videos on my channel too. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a sweet infinity.